Alright, here we are at the portal, and man, does that cold air blasting out feel good. There's, of course, the drift. We're at it. Running back that way. Interestingly, though, about this mine is it appears the powder magazine is right at the portal here, which is not something I've seen that I can ever recall seeing before, actually. And I don't know, if that went off, you'd think you'd trap a bunch of miners inside the mine, which would seem undesirable, but I'm not a miner, so maybe they know something I don't. Yeah, it just runs back there and stops. So, let's go and see where this main haulage at it runs off to. Nice breeze coming out of here. Alright, headed in. Kind of low through here. See, they had rail in here one time. Big tank right there. Looks like airline coming off of it. Anyway, as I was saying, obviously they did have track in here at one time. Some old school timbering up here. That was really cool. They just go out and cut a tree down and slap it up there for the timbering. None of this milled nonsense. Alright, got some stuff coming up here already. Oh.
Hey, you can see daylight.
Tumbleweed pocket right there. You see daylight up there?
Yeah, it's Stope through.
Alright, well, it must connect to some of those upper workings we saw. This doesn't look particularly stable. Look at all that rock that's holding back. Especially here. Nice. Those are pretty beefy timbers, though. Man. These are huge. These are full-size trees. Got a wind station here already. Oh my god, look at this woodwork. Somebody burned it too.
Oh, wow.
That is massive. That's a real shame somebody torched that. Looks like the hoist operator would have been back there. Got some miners graffiti right there. A woman someone's been yearning for, perhaps. Maybe from one of the local brothels. Here's the Winze station. Looks like an incline Winze. Just trying to get an angle on it for you. Oh yeah, you can see it angling off down there. We might have to go down there later. Check that out. Looks like you got your old Prince Albert can right there. So the skip car would have ridden up on these rails and then flipped up here to where there would have been an ore cart where I'm standing right now, roughly. Backside of those huge timbers I was talking about. Just massive. I mean, look at him standing next to the size of that one on his left. I think you're serving as a model, dude. That is just huge. Unbelievable. So, where did I see the manway? I saw a manway over here somewhere earlier. Okay, yeah. See, there's some stairs right there, but we can just drop down that. We'll do that. We'll finish this level out and then drop down there on the way out. Nice little incline there. And then, I didn't take a very good look back here. You obviously thought the same thing.
There's a tank here.
Oh, I missed that. Yeah, he's standing on a tank right there.
Riveted.
Riveted, obviously an older one. Any treasures on the table?
repurposed cans for grease.
Repurposed grease cans. Man, I cannot.
Brass knobs, some carbide.
Carbide?
Yeah, loose carbide in can.
That's cool.
Smells foul over here.
That's too bad.
Good with rats.
Lots of rat urine. I can't believe somebody torched that.
Yeah, that's really rude. Oh, and the if you look at the horseshoe down just near the side of this
Oh, this is an horseshoe?
This burnt section is all through there. All the rocks
man.
are torched.
That's shitty. What an amazing section. This probably dates back to the original mine, you know. This mine started in the 1800s, was abandoned and then reworked in the 1920s. But looking at this, I'm thinking this is from the 1800s. It's that old rope back there. This is really elaborate. As a testament to their skill, that those are still holding back all that rock. Oh, I see what these meant. This is the ore chute here, and you see how it's all blackened up there. That was all burned through there. That is a shame. Well, curious what else is in here. Some big beams on the ground here. That keeps running through. Hopefully I don't have to crawl in there. I bet that connects somewhere over here. If not, we will crawl in there on the way out. Little raise right here. Looks like it just goes up to there. And connects to that stope we just passed there. Continuing along. Keeps heading straight back there. Little pocket here. And a raise up into some stopes up there, looks like. Okay. Looks like I got another one. Oh, just a little backfilled pocket right there. This is really cozy in here now. I almost feel like my shoulders are gonna brush against the side. Definitely hunched over. Definitely has that Nevada mine smell of dust and deer mouse / wood rat urine. Okay, this is kind of an interesting junction. Some of the old Roman mines. So, runs ahead that way. Backfilled drift right here. Backfilled at the very top there, so we're not getting in there. And looking to the right, I bet this loops around to that one we were looking down a minute ago. Oh, it keeps going this way too. Goes around there and bends. We'll stick with the right hand theme. Oh, this is getting tight, man. This sucks.
I think they were starting to backfill it.
Yeah, starting to backfill it. Almost got it. But still enough for us to get in here. I think this is probably pointless too, because I think this just wraps around. Yeah. This is that one we were just looking through right there. So we'll go back and hit that one we passed on the way in. Alright, we just came from back there. Passed this one on the way in. Maybe check it out. Nice and low and tight in here. Looks like they tried to backfill this one too. Faces out maybe. It could go to the left. It does go to the left. And it's backfilled. Awesome. Yeah, that's it. So back to the main haulage at it. Alright, we just came from checking out that section. We're back at the main haulage at it. which keeps running this way. Really wouldn't mind if this opened up a little bit. Looks like a more burnt wood up here, which is upsetting. Hopefully that's just stained. No, that's burned. Huh. More stuff in here though. That's a really old school timber right there. It's starting to buckle. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Got a little pocket right here. Looks like a fault line right there that fractured off. Cool ladder. Looks like the remains of a stope right there. Some very old timber work. Attic keeps running ahead. Like some false floors or winzes up there. Looking up, oh, that's awesome. Wow. That is really cool. Whole series of ladders and platforms stretching up. Who knows how far? Probably connects to the upper workings though. It's a pretty safe bet. Very, very cool. Looking ahead of us. It's got something dropping down on the right here. Looks like filled in stopes from the look of it. Same here. Yeah, that's all backfilled down there. That old rope there is pretty awesome. They cleaned out a pocket here. And kept going this way. Looking up, there's a little, that would be an interesting one to cross. Looks like yeah, looks like there's more fire damage, unfortunately. You can see that timber there has been burned. Oh man, that goes way, way up there. That goes straight up. Wow. So there's looking straight up. I don't know if there's an ore pass or even a ventilation shaft or something, but that it all squared off and just goes up for a long way. But yeah, it's all burnt up there. That is a shame. Looking ahead, got lots of interesting stuff going on in this chamber here. Big chamber and little nook right there. Looks like you'd have a gargoyle or something right there. A cathedral. Little pen here, sealing off this Winze here, which drops down there as far as I can see, actually. Anybody got a rock handy?
Yep, stand by. Here, take it forward.
Alright, a little rock down there. Jesus, Dusty. Still going. There's that Winze right there. And this chamber, there's something taken off up there. Let's see how we get up there. Little pocket right there. That's cool right there. And attic keeps running back. See more of that fault line right here. Looks like we're standing on a bunch of backfill, possibly, because you can see it looks like that was stoped out down there. And this looks like all waste rocky in here. That's looking through to that burnt section we were checking out before. Neat little pocket there. Interesting stuff. See more of that fault right there. That flat leading edge. Must have been something good in here. Continuing on. Little backfilled pocket right there. a larger backfilled pocket here. Gobbing backfilled drift, who knows how far back that went. And a raise that is very, very squared off, shoots straight up and stops. That is interesting. You can see these notches in the side here. They would have had boards driven in there, sort of like this one here. They could have stood on to get up there and work that. But that would have been tough doing that. Wow. And I was about to slab off right there, like this one did here. Interesting mineralization in here, I have to observe. 35. Okay, taking a bend here. Backfilled drift right here. Looks like they sort of hit a face here and then decided to jig left. Another backfilled drift there. And man, this is tight. Tight and cozy here. I bent way over, and if I stuck my elbows out right now, they'd be scraping along the sides. Oh, this is hard on her back. Oh man. Oh. Okay. 1949. Somebody's name. Kind of hard to read. Okay. Here's some more. Looks like Mary paid a visit here. Little pocket right here. People are always asking me what those ribbons are. What those are geologists and geologists come in here and take samples sometimes, and also survey teams will come in and survey the mine. And that's what that is. A little stope right here. So they leave those ribbons at survey points or to mark where they took samples, for example. We've actually picked up some rail here. This is the old school rail, the strapping, the metal strapping. The boards are rotted away, but the metal straps are still here. Oh geez, looks like they backfilled this. So we may have some trouble with this because that's really, really low and tight, unfortunately. Oh, this is gonna suck. I think I'm gonna turn the camera off until I get up to there because this is gonna be hard walking with the camera. All right, kept climbing through, and it comes up here and hits the face right here. So that's it. Now we've got that Winze to go down. Very curious what's down there. So I'll pick up back there. All right, we just finished exploring back there. We're back at this Winze station. Getting ready to go down. Climbing up here, just want to show you a different perspective on some of this stuff. And what's interesting is if you look through there, see daylight right there. See that blue sky? Pretty cool. The old rail right here. Skip car would have ridden up. And then looking down, it's a pretty good view looking down. We are going to go down there. I guess we have to start there and then slide over there and head on down there. I need my hands for that one, so I'm going to put the gloves on and start heading down. Alright, I just climbed down there because my buddy's coming down after me. I've come to what I believe is a drift level. Interesting bluish colored rock right here. And it appears to be a drift level running off there. And appears to be a backfilled drift. That could be caved too. Anyway, either way, I filled in there. Not sure I'll be able to get back there or not. Looks more cave now that I'm looking at it. And looking down, I shift over here. Looking down, it does keep going. Now it keeps going, but it gets much steeper, and it either goes vertical there or just stops right there. I can't tell yet. I think that's probably just a sump from the way I'm looking at it now. It looks like it. Yeah, I'm almost certain now that I'm looking at it more carefully, because it looks like you can see there's a 90-degree turn on the rock right there, which looks like a sump to me. So I'm gonna start over here. I think you got some old glass bottles and stuff right there. I see plenty of rail down here, so let's go check that out. So there's looking across to that one that I thought was caved, and I can see now it's definitely caved. I don't see any way to get past that section right there. Those are huge boulders that have plugged it up. So my buddy just arrived down here. That means we are going to focus our attentions over here. This is caved a little bit, but not as much. You can see there's a bunch of rail down here leading back this way and bending around. Got some moisture down here. You can smell it too. It's kind of a heavy, dank smell back here. Got some pipe on the ground. Wow, super mineralized in here. The man, all kinds of oranges, different colors. They're tracking the loads coming out here. It's like a bunch of sulfides. Wow. I'd be curious to know what's back here. With that many loads marked off, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Winze back here. Another Winze. A Winze off the Winze. In other words, man, it's looking kind of nasty back here. Definitely water back here. Got sort of the popcorn effect I've noticed in another mine. Those of you who watch my videos know what I'm talking about. This looks like it could run all the way up to the main haulage at it. It looks like it goes up a way. Boy, lots of moisture down here. Look at all this. What that means is that we can't trust any of the wood down here. Oh, it's wet down here. I am surprised to see this. Very, very wet down here. Don't forget, we're in the desert, and we're in a dry part. I mean, all deserts are dry, but I mean, this is like a particularly dry part of the desert. Super dark back here now. This is so much different than the upper drift level. You'd swear you're 1,000 miles away based on the geology down here. Really interesting. See the rail here in front of us. This is actual rail. This isn't the wooden strips or the metal straps on top of the wooden strips, to clarify, that we saw above. Interesting. This is nuts. It keeps going too. I am just blown away by all the mineralization down here. It's amazing what a little bit of water will do. I mean, there's a lot to work with here originally, obviously, but the water really draws it out. See all these crystals forming? This is nuts. Wow. Still got our rail. Looks like there might be something up ahead there. Some chamber or something. fair amount of ground fall here. All through here. Looks like there might be a cave-in up ahead. Cave-in or backfill. This is more likely a cave-in, given the way everything else is looking back here. Oh man, yeah, we're not getting over that. That is done. But yeah, that looks like a cave-in to me. Maybe they had a stope or something there. But that is very filled in. Wow. Alright, we're back and that wind's dropping down. Where my buddy's light is right there. That's the drift level we just came off. We've climbed further down. It's getting a lot steeper here, obviously.
It almost looks like there's another drift level off that way.
Okay.
We're a little bit further down.
As you can see, my other friend's gone down there. And it's getting vertical where he is. And it keeps going a long way. There's a little caved drift level right here. I went back and looked. That's as far as it goes. How's the ladder looking down there?
It's still about the same as it has been.
All right. So yeah, he's making his way down there. Gotta be careful. I don't want to knock any rocks on him. It's full of rocks here.
Yep, there's a drift here.
Are you able to get down to it, or
No, it's right here.
are you able to get into it, or?
I think so.
All right, so there's another drift level off to the left there, so he's gonna go check that out. All right, that's my friend coming up now, and the drift down there, he said it went about 10 feet to the left, and then it was caved. He couldn't go any farther. The Winze here goes down vertical, hits a platform, and goes vertical after that for quite a long way, based on the length that the rock fell, or the distance the rock fell. And we don't have ropes with us on this one, and given the dampness down here, things are the wood is definitely questionable, so we are not going to go plunging into the unknown on this one without any ropes. Alright, rock test going down. Yeah, that goes a long way down. Alright, we made our way up from the Winze down there and back at that first drift level. We checked out here. And we saw this before, but I didn't really talk about this. I want to explain what this was. This piece of metal right here. And if you look carefully, it's got a hinge on it right there. And what this was a chute for the ore. And what they would do is they would send a skip car down approximately to where I'm standing. And then they would bring an ore cart out from back there, take it to the edge here, and then they would flop that metal chute down, dump the ore down it into the waiting skip car here, take the skip car up and out to that burned area, and repeat the process. So that is what that was. A small but essential piece of the mine. Alright, we just made it back to the top of the Winze here at the Winze station, and while we were heading up, my friend noticed some of the old graffiti over here. We've got a 1909 right here. It's hard to see in that light, but try this one. 09, right there. Hard to make out the name, but that's pretty awesome to see that. And then down here, we've got, I just lost it, where'd it go? 46, right there. 1946. Pretty awesome. And then just this woodwork here is still blowing my mind. You see that was all hacked out by hand. They jammed these enormous support posts in here. Obviously taking up some heavy loads and a lot of loads from down below. Cannot imagine muscling this thing into place. We were thinking maybe they dropped it in from above, but even still, thank God that would have been a lot of work. Like I always say, the old timers were tough. Well, what do you say we go check out those upper levels? I'll take that as a yes. This is the infrastructure outside of the mine, and you may be curious why I'm dubbing this in after the fact. Well, you're going to love this. I'm dubbing this in after the fact because I accidentally bumped a little button on the microphone that stopped it from recording. And so I was speaking eloquently into a dead mic. I'm pointing out some of the upper workings now. We'll check that out later. Up there as well. There's a lot of stone, or the remains of stone cabins up there, which is kind of interesting. Obviously, a decent sized crew did work here in the early days. The early days that I could find were the 1870s. That was the earliest I could find on this mine. The portal is right there. I just pointed to that. All kinds of bits and pieces of stuff out here, which I assume I was commenting on. Another building there. So it was sort of like a hybrid bunkhouse and workshop. A head frame up there. There was a lot going on at the site back in the early days. Like I said 1870s was the earliest I could locate information, reports and things like that. It looks like it was resurrected briefly in the 1920s, and I didn't find any records after that. Bits and pieces of stuff around the other workshop here. This was I can't remember if I said in the video or not, this was lead, silver, and zinc primarily. There was a little bit, trace amounts of copper and gold, but the money was made from the silver and the lead and some of the zinc. And I did some research after our visit about those Winzes, and I actually found some really good maps and talked to some people that had roped up and dropped down those. And we really didn't miss anything. They were actually fairly deep. The main one was 350 feet deep, and the other one that we looked down was 250 feet deep. And interestingly, they connected underground. If you remember, we saw that caved drift heading off the winds that we dropped down, and that connected over to the other. There are multiple passages connecting underground. Anyway, a lot of it was caved, according to the guys that dropped down there, and they were empty. So, yeah, I did go down a way, but there wasn't much to see down there. Like I said, this looks kind of like a combination of a workshop and bunkhouse. Some of the stuff is obviously newer, or newish, I should say. And so I'm sure people squatted here or used it as a campsite out in the desert, whatever. You see that a lot with old cabins at mines out in the desert. See the birds up there? The bird nest. I just pointed to it. Just showing you the different rooms and stuff in here. This room was kind of weird back here. It was lined with... Oh, I forgot about this. As a thank you note, I'm not even sure to who, but it's a thank you note for a piece of equipment that they took to a museum in California, supposedly. If you pause the video, or go back and pause the video and read it, you can see that what I was talking about. It gives more. I forgot the exact name of the piece of equipment that was taken away, and all of that's on the note if you're curious. Anyway, this was kind of weird. I don't know why this was all lined with cardboard unless it was insulation. I doubt they had a cheap recording studio set up here. It's just interesting seeing the different brands and such. This is the only clip that was affected with the audio, so the next one will have normal audio. All right, back out of the mine. Those buildings right there we checked out in the beginning. And we came down to see what this stone structure was here. And it looks like it was actually a kiln because you can see it was lined with brick, circular, and it was lined with brick. So that's pretty interesting. I've only seen one other mine that I can think of that had a kiln. So that's I thought that was worth pointing out, even though there's not much left of it. I thought that was interesting. And then you can see this waste rock pile. Sorry, a little aggressive with the stabilizers. The waste rock pile extends out that way, and then the other waste rock piles we want to check out are up there. We've hiked up above from down below, and these are waste rock piles, but this is all surface work or caved adits. Kind of looks like caved adits, but it could also be surface work. Just over there, we found where the, when we were down that adit, we checked out, I could look up and see some daylight. We looked through and mostly filled in holes, open stopes, poking out, nothing too interesting. I'm gonna look around here some more. There's some more piles up there. And also there's a fairly large one here. I'm gonna go check out. If there's anything interesting, I'll include it in the video.